Now, well-known journalist and political analyst in Pakistan, director of Center for Research and Security Studies in Islamabad, in fact. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you very much for talking to NDTV. Very worrying signs coming from Pakistan there.
Well, I think for a few hours, worrying on Wednesday, particularly Wednesday evening, but one would hope that things will gradually settle down, that the government would probably respond to the 6 options that the Supreme Court had given it for the implementation of its earlier rulings. And also, I think the National Assembly, the Lok Sabha, is going into session today, and it's expected that the government would try to rally support of its allies in a signal to the Supreme Court and the military that it enjoys the allies' support even at this point. So somehow one would hope that the major stakeholders would find a middle way to meet.
Well, that's in fact what everybody is hoping. But with the Prime Minister's statement yesterday, sir, suggesting that democracy is Pakistan's destiny, is there any sort of, do you smell a compromise between the army chief and the Prime Minister? Is all going to be okay at the end of the day? Any signals you're getting there?
Well, firstly, I don't think there is any dispute about democracy being the destiny and the future of Pakistan. Nobody, I think, would disagree with that. Secondly, the Prime Minister as well as the President have been, I think, indulging in certain politics which offended not only the Supreme Court but also the Pakistan military. Now, it would be, I think, premature to say that everything will be all right within next few hours. I think there is a history of bad blood among all the 3, particularly between the government on the one side and the Supreme Court and the military on the other. And it will take some time, and I think a lot will depend on which course the Supreme Court takes next week on the 16th of January, when it resumes the hearing and when it expects the government's response on its options, on its ruling that it had given earlier. So I think we still have a lot of suspense awaiting us, and only probably by the end of the next week would we find out whether things are smoothing out, or are we seeing the unraveling of a new political scenario which would lead Pakistan probably into fresh elections.
Well, thank you very much for talking to us, Mr. Gul. We will, of course, keep coming back to you and other experts in Pakistan for more on this big story. As Mr. Gul just mentioned, these are worrying times for Pakistan. No one can say everything will be all right soon enough. He's saying this week is very important for the political situation in Pakistan. Depends on what happens in the Supreme Court and how the Parliament in Pakistan, in fact, deals with this standoff